Hello and welcome, whether you are returning or joining this channel for the first time. It is so good to have you. Before we dive into today's video, I do have to address a couple of things here. First, it's obviously been a while since I've uploaded. For those of you who aren't aware, I actually had a pretty severe migraine attack at the end of March and beginning of April, and that's why I didn't post any readings last month. I really tried to get stuff out to all of you, and even after the migraine attack, I was in what's called a postdrome or migraine hangover, and it was really just difficult to express myself, and that's actually what I was having before I had my attack as well. So hopefully if this ever does happen to me again, this was the first time it's ever happened, I'll at least be able to know the signs. However, this sort of does lead me into the second announcement that I feel like I need to make. I really do feel that moving forward, I am going to separate the tarot and astrology into different videos for the signs. So I will still be uploading, and in fact, potentially uploading more. But it really just became very apparent with this migraine attack that I've put myself under so much stress and strain, and I've really tried to fit everything into these neat little boxes, and honestly, it's very challenging for me to do, and I feel like moving forward, I would really like to go back kind of to the root of where I began, where it was more of an intuitive style read, while still also using astrology as well, because I do feel like they're both very useful tools that can help orient a lot of things for us. And so I think sometimes too these messages can get just like repetitive, and of course I feel like whenever I do a tarot reading, it's always going to incorporate astrological elements anyways. That's just how my brain works. But I think it's nice to kind of dial that back and just let that more flow in naturally. So that might be something that may not even be much of a big deal to all of you. Maybe it's just kind of a bigger deal to me because I put a lot of pressure on myself. So I appreciate all the support that you have given this channel, and actually a lot of people did reach out to me, ask me how I was doing, and I really, really appreciate that. If you would like to support this channel, definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification. That not only helps you stay up to date with what's in the cards for you, but it also helps spread these messages and energies that you may think be helpful for other people. So they're kind of your tools as well. And I do have a link in the description of this video for my website where you can book a personal reading or distance Reiki session, as well as links for all of my other social media accounts. Leo, things may not be as they appear, at least based on the first two cards that came out while I was shuffling the deck for you. We do have the Seven of Cups and Magician in reverse. And I feel like I'm actually getting a couple of different messages here. So before we really dive in, with these general readings, it's always important that you take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind for somebody else. Don't try and force these to fit in your own life. Just kind of let it flow. And if it doesn't, then maybe this just isn't the reading that's meant for you at this time. But you're more than welcome to check out the other readings on my channel, maybe for your moon or rising sign. There may be some messages for you there, or just some more clarity that could be helpful for things that are coming up in this reading. Anyways, with the Seven of Cups and Magician in reverse, the first thing that came to mind here was actually that some of you may be reconsidering your desires, what it is that you want to create or manifest. And this is energy that you've kind of been in, because this is coming in as sort of past energy. And this may be happening because for some of you with the Magician in reversed, something just hasn't been happening. There's been something that you're trying to create or do, and it just feels very blocked off to you right now, Leo. And if that's the case, there may be something here where it's like you kind of need to reconsider, well, is there a part of me that's resisting this? Maybe I don't actually want this, or I only think I want the thing I am working towards or manifesting. So that is a message for some of you. I also got that with the Magician in reverse and the Seven of Cups, this could actually be someone who has very confusing intentions around you, particularly a Virgo or Gemini energy. I'm getting strong Gemini actually with the Magician. So this may be an individual who might be deceptive, but honestly, I feel like they almost have themselves kind of in a loop as well. Like they might be lacking some sort of awareness. Let's actually clarify. Let's clarify this energy a little more. Let's see what else comes out for you, Leo. We'll also pull for other stuff coming up this May, but I'm very curious to dive in deeper here. Interesting. We do have the Knight of Swords. This is often about resting, taking some time to reconsider or reflect or recharge. That may be some advice for this situation. It feels like there is just this kind of confusing, foggy energy for you, Leo. And I'm also getting this kind of weird, confusing, almost like hallway of mirrors where it's like, wait, is this me? Is this the other person? Like, it's hard to track who's feeling what or why you're feeling a certain way. That's just coming in as well. I was going to mention dreams with this Four of Swords because this is often a card of rest. We do have the Nine of Swords in reverse as well. Nine of Swords often, well, it quite literally depicts waking up from a nightmare. Some of you are getting very confusing messages in your dreams or dreams that are making you reconsider your perspective on your own intentions or other people's intentions, or maybe both. So I really want to encourage you to pay attention to your dreams. There could be some very interesting things going on there for you. We did have a lunar eclipse in Libra, which is your mind. This happened the end of March, actually. But I'm kind of feeling like for some of you, this could have been a time where these themes or these patterns from your subconscious mind were really coming up in a prominent way. And I feel like for some of you, sleep has just been kind of disrupted or irregular or erratic. What else do we have for Leo? What else do we have for Leo? Okay. Again, Eight of Cups, which often is about distancing from a situation. This isn't about cutting somebody out necessarily, but it's like getting some perspective, zooming out here, looking at some alternative possibilities. I really feel like, Leo, some of you are trying to find happiness or fulfillment in something that isn't actually fulfilling for you. Because with the Eight of Cups, this is the card that comes right before the Nine of Cups, which is all about fulfillment, wishes, happiness, personal achievement. The Eight of Cups is a card that varies a lot between decks, and it's something that I pay attention to, and intuitively I choose these decks. I actually was just talking about this in another sign's reading. I think it might have been the Aries reading. So maybe if you have an Aries placement, there's something there for you as well. But with this Eight of Cups, all of the cups are still here. In some other iterations of this card, the cups are knocked over, or they're shattered or broken. It's like you're walking away from just a broken situation that's not working. It's very clear. This Eight of Cups is a little bit more ambiguous, because it's like the cups are still standing. They're still here. you can walk away from them and come back, and they're still gonna be there. The integrity is still there. But with this particular Eight of Cups, it's like, yeah, I mean, you're almost happy, you're almost content, but it feels like there's something else out there. And it feels like there's something that really captures your passion or your creativity, Leo. That's something that really fires you up. Or maybe there's even some sort of adventure here. And it feels like, okay, so now where this is all connecting with the Seven of Cups, Magician in reverse, again, you've been denying something that you want. You've been downplaying that for yourself. And I don't think you can do that anymore. And kind of on the other side of this coin, you may have been telling yourself like, oh no, I want to do this. I want to be a part of this, or do this activity, or this hobby, or this job. But actually, it wasn't what you thought it would be for you, Leo. And I think you kind of know, or you're starting to realize at least, that that spark, that passion, is somewhere else for you. And you could try and change yourself. You could try to make yourself happy with where you are, and maybe sometimes you are. But there's still this yearning, or this wondering, is there something more? I really get that for you, Leo. At least for those of you that this is meant for. What else do we have for Leo? And it's actually funny because for some of you, there really could be a lot of growth in your career or public image or the role you fill in the world at large, particularly with the new moon on May 7th. This could actually be a very good time to manifest a new career because this is happening in the sign of Taurus. And for you, Taurus energy is all about public image, career, your platform, if you will. And so there's a lot of new energy, and just being in Taurus season, there's a lot of focus on what do I want to do with my life. And we have Jupiter and Venus coming together in the sign of Taurus the same day as the full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, which is a very lucky, expansive energy. It's probably the luckiest day of the entire year. And even having the full moon in Sagittarius, there's another element of luck. Knight of Wands is actually Sagittarius energy, interestingly enough. So maybe there's something there that is changing for you, where you're kind of going in a direction of, oh my God, what's it called? There's that Japanese word that's like a vocation that's also a purpose that sustains you and is needed. I'm doing a Google search right now. For purpose. Japanese word, concept, purpose. Ikigai. That's actually what I thought it was. So Ikigai is this combination of having a sense of purpose, a motivation, having something that is needed, and something that sustains you. It's like having all of those pieces. And I feel like Ikigai could be a very useful concept for you to learn about this month, Leo, if you're not already familiar. And it feels like the universe is kind of helping you or supporting you in finding that sense of purpose, which is just so, so beautiful. Page of Swords. This feels like something that's new, or like you're learning something or going off in a new direction. But actually, I feel like it's something you wanted to do a long time ago, and you just, for some reason, told yourself that you couldn't. Maybe other people told you that you couldn't. Excuse me. But yeah, there's a lot of learning. There's a lot of excitement. And it's like, actually, I can do something totally different from what I've been doing. And that's okay. And when you have that sense of motivation, you would be so surprised what you can get done. And I feel like a lot of you have been kind of pushing yourself. You've been fighting yourself. You've been in resistance with your self, almost swimming upstream, trying to do something here. It doesn't have to be this hard, Leo. It really, really doesn't. Wow, 8 of Wands. And you are running right out the gates here. 8 of Wands is all about haste, expediency, messages, opportunities, travel. Things are happening very quickly. You would be surprised just how quickly things can change when you admit to yourself, I need a change. I need to walk away from this. And even if you're in a situation, in a job, or just like kind of in a rut, and you're like, I have no idea how to get out of this, but I know that this isn't the situation for me. Speaking from experience, where I was stuck in a job and it was like everything was on fire and just so challenging out of nowhere, I literally just was like, okay, universe, I know I'm supposed to get off this path. This isn't right for me. Don't know how to do that. If you can help me do that, please do. And the moment I did that, everything became easier. And I actually did eventually leave that situation. And I really didn't have a plan at that point to do that. So you would be very surprised how quickly things can happen when you're no longer fighting yourself. And it feels like you don't trust that right now fully because you've been fighting yourself for so long. And I think a lot of people in especially in the West, we kind of bargain with ourselves. We live a secure or stable life. We go for that job or that position because it's familiar, or it seems like it's going to eventually buy us the life that we want or earn us the life that we want. But I feel like there's a way more direct route for you, Leo. Knight of Cups. Following your heart, following your intuition, following your flow. Not swimming upstream, swimming with the current. Does make me wonder if there might be a relationship for some of you as well. What's going on for love for Leo? Interesting. We do have the 10 of Wands, which is kind of like carrying a lot of weight, carrying a burden. I feel like you might be bringing a lot of weight into your love life because you're in this kind of resistant energy. You're just carrying something or trying to push something along. And 10 of Wands is about needing to delegate. You don't need to carry all this weight. It's not necessarily meant for one person either. There is someone who's trying to help you this month. Could be a water sign, Pisces, could also be Cancer, Scorpio. And again, I'm also just getting this message with the Knight of Cups and the 10 of Wands. You would be surprised with how much you can get done when you just allow yourself to go in the direction of your flow. Any final messages for Leo? Anything else about love? We do have the Ace of Wands. There could be some sort of spark or very exciting thing happening. Maybe there's a new person, or there's just finding chemistry, finding the passion in a relationship again. This kind of makes sense with the full moon in Sagittarius as well, because this is happening in your astrological 5th house of passion, creativity, romance. This energy is kind of peaking for you around this time, and especially with Venus, the planet of love, beauty, abundance, being activated with Jupiter on the same day, which is all about growth, expansion. There's just a lot of fire. And I feel like There's a lot of creative energy, which is also sexual energy. Just gonna say it like that. I'm actually hearing sex magic for some of you. So using orgasm to manifest could also be something that's very powerful for you this month as well. And if you do not know what I'm talking about, you can definitely find things online that can explain that. I feel like there's something creative or something involving creativity that you want to do. I really get the creative vibe for this crowd. I feel like a lot of you are artists, or maybe content creators, or you're just meant to do something that's kind of off the beaten path, but it feels like there's a strong creative element to this. Any other messages for Leo? I just had half the deck kind of flip out, and it feels like the deck is like, I'm done. So I'm actually going to pull from the Moonology Oracle here. Any other messages or pieces of advice for Leo this month? I feel like it's been pretty straightforward, to be honest. But any other messages for Leo in the month of May? Interesting. We have the full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. So it could be that there is some sort of emotional thing that is kind of settling. This feels it feels very personal. It feels like you are resolving something within yourself, actually. Maybe there's something that is kind of resolving within home or family life as well. This is just a very cozy, beautiful energy. We really do love to see the full moon in Cancer because the moon is at home in the sign of Cancer. So maybe that's actually what this represents, just feeling at home in yourself, Leo. And there's a lot of emotional healing that comes from this. And it feels like there might be some sort of conflict that kind of resolves when you realize what's actually aligned for you or what you actually want. Maybe out of a relationship, but I actually feel like out of life too. Like for some reason that's impacting your relationships this month. It's kind of reminding me of like how when you're unsatisfied with life, you can just get kind of upset by very little things that people do. And like, I almost get that. Like for some of you, there could be this fight or this conflict, and it's not actually about this other person or even the situation at all. It's like, that's kind of your realization point for a lot of you. Maybe that's already happened. Maybe that's something that's happening in May. Astrologically, even though it is a very lucky month, there is definitely some spiciness with Mars, Mercury, Chiron, which is the asteroid called the Wounded Healer, and the North Node, which is kind of this point of growth, stepping out of your comfort zone. All of this is in the sign of Aries, so there really is kind of this tension, some ego wounds that could be coming up. But for you, Leo, it feels like if there is some sort of conflict this month, it kind of feels minor. And it's actually like, oh my God, I'm not unhappy with you or this situation. I'm just unhappy. Like, for some reason that's coming in. So I'm very curious if you know what I'm talking about. There's like a very specific sort of situation or kind of feeling I'm getting from this that's sort of hard to put to words. It's like how people get more easily overstimulated when they are stressed. That's what I'm getting. And it's like someone does something that's sort of annoying, but it just trips you over the edge and it sparks something for a moment, but then it's like, this isn't about this at all. I'm just at a breaking point all the time. Like, that's what I'm getting. Which I'm sorry to hear, but it feels like acknowledging this is really propelling you forward. Interesting. Void of course, moon. Nothing will come of the situation. I really get this for the energy you feel stuck in or stagnant in. You know nothing will come out of this, or this is kind of confirmation like you need to try something different. You're not meant to stay here. You're waiting for something to change, and you're actually supposed to be the change. Anything else for Leo? I knew this card was going to come out. New Moon in Leo. This is your sign. This is about you, again, stepping into your energy, feeling at home in yourself. And it says confidence is your key to success. And that's the thing. On a deep level, you haven't gone after the thing you really want to because you didn't believe yourself, or other people made you feel like you weren't good enough to get what you really wanted, or be what you really wanted to be, or do what you really wanted to do. You deserve this. You are capable of this. You just have to believe in yourself. So I do hope that this was a nice little pep talk for you, Leo. One more thing, the Leo energy is also about creativity. So I really do feel like some of you are creatives. Let me know in the comment section down below if that's you, or what this kind of off the beaten path thing might be. Anyways, Leo, I hope that this was helpful. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe, especially if you've made it this far into the video, and it really resonated with you. This also helps share it with other people who may need to hear this message as well. And it also helps me continue putting these messages out for all of you. You can also find a link in the description for my website where you can book a personal reading or distance Reiki session, or also get some service in my online shop as well. And I will see you all in the next video. I'm wishing you a very happy and blessed May. Take care, Leo.